What's up, y'all? JDB Sports here, Alex and Peyton for our weekly edition of the offseason breakdown. We got the NFC East this week. Took pleasure and some time in getting this one ready together. Peyton, you want to break it down on the breaking news while I get everything else ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just run through it real quickly, look at some of the moves over the course of the last week and figure out who's gone where and why. Um, First news that actually dropped pretty much right after we left stream, Jordan Mason getting traded over to the Minnesota Vikings as more of a depth piece in that rotation behind Aaron Jones. Think it provides a really nice complement to that backfield, and seeing how stacked the Niners backfield is, I don't think it's too big of a loss for them. And they get some draft compensation as well, which is nice. Backup Cooper Rush going to the Ravens to be their backup now. Solid spot for him. I think he's a solid backup, and worth a little bit of money. 4.2 guaranteed and $6 million a year for a backup isn't bad by any means.
Rushing to get him.
Yeah, Derek Nottie to the Jets. Not too much to say there. Really solid defensive tackle for the Chiefs. The Bengals granted Joe Burrow his wish in paying his guys. Huge Jamar Chase contract, huge T. Higgins contract. In all honesty, I think T could have gotten more.
I was thinking the same thing. It seemed like Jamar got a lot more than T.
Yeah, and the conditions of T's deal doesn't really give him the leverage and what he was originally asking for. But hey, money's money, and they paid their guys finally after taking too long. Talking about another guy who just recently got paid and probably resetting the corner market is Derek Stingley. 3-year, $90 million deal. Basically, all of it's guaranteed. And again, Sauce Gardner, Patrick Surtain, possibly looking for mega deals and stuff like that. I just feel like, could be a signal there. Trent McDuffie as well. Get that bag. In other news, again, Artie Burns going to the Dolphins, solid corner for Seattle. Nothing too flashy there. Oren Burks officially agreeing to a 2-year deal with the Bengals, which is good for them. Ronald Darby moving over to the Texans as cornerback depth.
Didn't know he was still in the league. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think Darby's solid depth, but nothing too crazy. Not really a starting caliber corner in my mind. NFC East, again, masterclass here with Azeez Ojulari going from the Giants to the Eagles. The Patriots picking up Vikings release center Garrett Bradbury in a deal for a year. And then, a couple other big ones. Chiefs resigning Juju. Brandon Graham retiring from the Eagles. And what else do we have here? Chargers signing center Andre James to compete with Bradley Bozeman up front. Lions re-signing Craig Reynolds to that really 2.5-headed monster in that backfield. I'll give Craig Reynolds half a head to Jameer and David Montgomery. McCole Hardman to the Packers. They needed a receiver. They struck out on all the top options, picked up some of their crumbs. And then, Tyler Conklin agreeing to terms with the Chargers. Jameis agreeing to terms with the Giants.
Giants fans are happy about that.
Yeah, that's for dang sure. And, not much besides that. Lucas Patrick to the Bengals. Trent Brown to Houston. Some solid deals on the O-line. And then Brandon Cooks re-signing.
There you go with the Saints. Yep.
There we go.
All right. After that mouthful, let's jump right into it. Cowboys with 41 million left in cap space. They need a right guard to replace Zach Martin, a wide receiver 2 to replace Brandon Cooks, a slot cornerback to replace Jordan Lewis, an edge to replace DeMarcus Lawrence, in my opinion. They signed Dante Fowler on a 1-year, $8 million deal. It's a good signing, especially if he builds off of last year. He was cheeks in his first stint with Dallas. He's no DeMarcus Lawrence. So, how do you feel about that Dante Fowler signing?
I do think they definitely get younger at the position. Seeing how Dante Fowler played last year, I mean, that's a good omen coming into this year. They have familiarity with him. I think he would be solid in a Mike Zimmer system, so I don't think it's the worst deal in the world. But yeah, I wish they could have done more thus far with that edge room, maybe like a Trey Hendrickson, But again, Jerry Jones looks to be cheap as all get out in his replacements this offseason. So yeah, I just don't think it does much in the landscape of the team.
Yeah, really bad free agency for the Cowboys going forward, with especially with them, restructuring Micah and Dak to get some people in there, and he just hasn't done it. Brian Anger at the top of the list here with a 2-year, $6.4 million contract. Good re-signing, keeping some consistency in the most ever crucial part of the team. With some laughs over there. Obviously, being kicker, punter. You want a reliable holder, so that's all right. Solomon Thomas. I haven't heard of him since he was drafted by the 49ers. Don't know how he holds up today in today's game, but probably a solid depth addition in my opinion. 2-year, $6 million contract. What do you think about Solomon?
I don't think it moves the needle at all. I think he'll be like a rotational nose tackle, kind of like a 3-4 for their team, because they do have some solid defensive tackles over there. I just don't think he does much, in all honesty. A lot of these signings, like a Peyton Turner on defense, who we'd get to in just a moment, I feel like he provides some solid depth as well, but none of these signings are too inspiring, and then not getting a deal done with Micah is even bigger of an issue to me.
Well, we'll see what they do. You also got Trent Siege, long snapper, 3-year, $4.45 million, and his long snap these nuts across their face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
When these nuts hit your forehead?
Not my forehead. Their forehead.
Their forehead.
They're not giving the players the bags. All right, Robert Jones, guard, 1 year, $3.75 million. Good competition for the right guard spot. Even if for some reason he isn't a starter, he's a valuable swing option.
Yeah, I think he will end up being the starter. In all honesty, they have no answer there, and I think their offensive line's just gonna look mush this year.
Also got Javonte Williams, 1 year, $3 million deal. All right, depth addition. Think the Cowboys almost certainly draft a running back.
Yeah, I think they have to in like the third, maybe even sooner. If Genty drops, I think you look there. If you really like Omarion Hampton, maybe trade back a little bit and try to get him. I don't know. I just, 2 guys on 1-year deals, because we'll add in Miles Sanders as well, who recently signed with them, and I think it's a very uninspiring backfield full of backs who do the same thing.
All right. I mean, they also signed Miles Sanders too, but he was non-existent with the Panthers. I really don't see why they did this. I don't really roll with it.
Yeah.
They also have Peyton Turner, defensive end, 1 year, $2.5 million deal. Seems like Dallas is trying to capture a spark in a bottle. Not a good signing at the looks. The team just looks desperate, trying to find some players to fill in holes that departed, like DeMarcus Lawrence and Zach Martin. They're just throwing something at the wall and hoping it sticks. Really.
Well, yeah, and in Peyton Turner, I mean, out of college, he's a great prospect. I mean, former first-round pick. I don't mind it because it's cheap. It's a 1-year deal. I just wish they would have addressed more so. I think corner is their biggest need, because Trayvon Diggs hasn't had a good couple years. They just lost Jordan Lewis. Who's going to play on the outside?
Yeah, for real. Trade for Benjamin St. Just. No, I'm just kidding.
Please.
Dakota Shepley, center, 2-year, $2.315 million deal. With injuries being a concern and recent memory on the Cowboys line, this is nothing but a pure depth signing, in my opinion. They got Beebe over at center, maybe Hoffman taking snaps there. So, wait, you got anything to say?
No, not inspiring. No.
Piece of doo-doo cheeks. You got a safety in Israel, Ukwamu. I'm just gonna say it like that. 1 year, $1.75 million deal. One of the cheapest safeties I've seen so far. Depp, not sure why they signed him.
Again, none of these push the pedestal to me. When you lost to Carl Lawson, when you lost to Demarcus Lawrence, when you've lost, both your backup QBs, you've lost Rico Dowdle to two worst backs in my opinion. Like Javonte was amazing out of college. He had a great first year for the Broncos, but after tearing his ACL, shell of him for his former self, I think it's gross. And we'll get into grades right now. I'll let you start off with that one. How do you think all this grades out?
D, in my opinion, for the Cowboys. They lost some key pieces and replaced them with depth. Jerry is out here being cheap as hell. Even with Dak and Micah restructuring their deals to help them go get some talent, they're still not doing it. A D to D minus, in my opinion. Yeah, other than that, there was only one more free agent with Jack Stanborn at linebacker. Was the Eberflus carryover. He had a quietly productive 3-year career. Maybe he could be pushing for some time, either in a rotational piece or like a start. Maybe looking at starting. Seems like Eberflus really liked him in Chicago, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in that mix with Mike and all them. It just doesn't seem inspiring to me. But I like the D grade, in all honesty. I'll be a little more rough on them, if you will, and I'll go D minus. I just think they could have done a lot more with what they had, especially after those restructures Dak and CD gave them.
F.
D minus, yeah, D minus. I'll give it.
Yeah, I said D to D minus one. But we can look at these. You want to look at these departures real quick? We can just explain that down for everybody who's not living under a rock.
For sure.
You got Trey Lance, you got Cooper Rush going to the Ravens, you got Rico Dowdle going to the Panthers, Brandon Cooks going to the Saints, Chuma Aduga obviously with the Jaguars. I wish he was with the Chargers. I think I wanted them to go to the Chargers, I'm not mistaken. Zach Martin retired. Chauncey Golston went to the Giants. DeMarcus Lawrence went to the Seahawks. Carl Lawson unsigned. Linval Joseph old unsigned. Carlos Watkins unsigned. Eric Kendricks unsigned, and Jordan Lewis went to the Jags. A lot of good pieces that left or retired. Hate to see it. I mean, Linval Joseph's old. I don't think anybody. I think he's done. Yeah.
I could see him. Excuse me. I could see him being done. I could see him joining a team that needs some interior juice. That's desperate. Maybe the Bengals. Yeah, the Bengals are the biggest team that come to mind right now as a team that needs some defensive juice on the inside, maybe a veteran presence to change the defense. But Linval hasn't been anything special for about 5-6 years now. So
we could take him and put him at fullback.
Oh, God. What the Chargers do and just convert D tackles to fullbacks.
Yeah, the Chiefs did the same thing with Dante Powell, I believe.
Yeah, but that was one play. We had a ginger moving last year. Scott Matlock, if you don't know, big boy as a fullback. He 310.
All right, then there you go.
Moving.
Some people can make it work, but the Cowboys are not going to do that, and nobody's going to do it with Linval Joseph. That man is just too old. I feel like he would not be able to line up and be able to get smacked. I feel like he would just crumble.
Yeah. But how about record prediction for the Cowboys?
I didn't do a record prediction, but we can do one. We can do one off the base of our heads right now. So let's go ahead and go. Thinking 7-9 maybe at the
7-10.
7-10, yeah, at the best.
I'll agree with 7-10. They're gonna have they don't have an easy schedule. They don't really have too hard of one besides divisional opponents at the top. So yeah, I'll go 7-10 as well. I don't think the new coach is gonna fare well for him.
No, of course not. And then Matt Eberflus, D coordinator, maybe it might have a spark there. Hey Ty, thanks for liking the live. I appreciate that, man.
I like Eberflus. Don't get me wrong. I like him as a defensive coordinator. I just thought he was a dumb coach.
Dumb coach indeed, man. Real dumb coach. Bad time management. Let's go ahead and get off the Cowboys. I'm sure people are tired of hearing about the Cowboys. I'm tired of talking about them. I'm tired of writing about them. So let's go to the Giants, with who I believe had the best free agency in the NFC East. Their top needs, in my opinion, are offensive linemen and running back 2 and 3 behind Tyrone Tracy. They need somebody. I feel like honestly, I want to get to my grade first, and then we can explain all the signings and all that. But the grade, I want to say, Giants got a B plus. They got better in just about every area that they had a departure in. Only bad signing really being Forsyth. And I mean, they really didn't go and get them, a linebacker to replace Isaiah Simmons. But what you think?
Yeah, I would say B plus as well. It could go as high as an A minus. I just believe that they should have done more to their offensive line in order to receive an A, really fill out all the positions of need. But again, we'll get into it in just a second. But they filled a lot of needs, and they had some solid signings to round out their depth.
So, do we think Paulson and Debo, their latest additions, QB1 or what? Well, CB1. CB1.
Yeah,
easy.
They got a CB1. They got a safety one and Javon Holland, both for 3-year deals.
Yeah, good pickups. Debo can play, both man and zone coverages. What I read was apparently the Giants are looking to have like a middle of the field open type of scheme with those players that they just signed in, because Debo can lock down. Obviously, you get to see Javon Holland on a 3-year deal. 3-year deal. What am I, a freaking Gen Alpha? Not bad, y'all. Not to offend anybody here. Now, great pickup. A lot of teams were sure eyeing his services.
Yeah.
Darius Slayton on a 3-year, $36 million contract. I think that was a good re-sign. Some consistency. Look for him to continue making some plays down the field.
Have to agree.
We got a comment on YouTube. Do you think Craven Moorhead could help in the backfield? What do you think?
Is that really a YouTube comment?
Yeah, that's a YouTube comment. Yeah, the trolling.
Shout out YouTube,
yeah.
Dude. I was gonna wait till you heard it or I heard it.
As soon as I said it, I was like, you know what? That's crazy. Wow. How about that? Thanks for the comment. Dime Drawer the Fourth, man. How about that?
What about Sug Magooch? You think the
yeah.
God.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Let's get that back into this D. Let's get back into this D.
Chauncey Goldson, 3-year, $18 million contract. Good value. The former 3rd-round pick, eyes to be impactful as a rotational piece. Kind of see nothing more for him there. I kind of agree with that. And also, James Hudson, 2-year, $11 million contract. Decent signing, quality swing tackle, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think him, and I mean, I guess you give Stone Forsythe some credit. Hanging in there last year on the Seahawks when he was called upon, and I think they bettered their offensive line on the right side of things, and I believe Evan Neal's going to be moving over as well to kind of help there. So I think it fits their team. I don't think it's anything crazy, but it fits their team.
Well, Tato, thanks for liking the live. Really appreciate you out there being the #1 supporter, even though, everybody's battling their own demons and injuries and things like that. Glad to have you on board. Thanks for liking the live. Thanks for being here for us and being our top moderator. Go ahead. Craven Moorhead. I just gotta go back to it. I keep looking at it. All right, so the one everybody cares about now, quarterback Jameis Winston on a 2-year, $8 million deal. Great signing, better than what they had currently, and one that better fits what they were trying to do. I believe over Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, in my opinion. Like you said, I think you said it before stream. Total gunslinger. Go ahead and break down what you think about Jameis Winston. Is he going to be eating W's this season, or is he going to be taking L's and preaching in post-game press conference? What are we doing?
Lord, protect me from pick sixes. Lord, protect me. That's him. No, I think it's a good signing. I still think they need to address the quarterback position because you're not always going to have Jameis, and I believe Jameis could be a good bridge quarterback and to teach someone and mentor, But I still see him looking at quarterback possibly in the draft this year with the Shadur.
You think Shadur? A lot of people are saying Jackson Dart's going to be QB2 for how he performed at the combine. No, you don't think so?
No, I don't think his combine turns him in from a 2nd-round prospect to an early first. I think the best case scenario for Jackson Dart is getting drafted first round to the Steelers. I think that's the best case scenario for him.
Maybe that's what they're looking at. Maybe that's why they haven't signed Russell Wilson yet.
Yeah. And Russ, he preferred to go to the Giants before the Jameis news broke. So I don't know how he's going to feel about going back to Pittsburgh at this point when Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are in heavy talks to complete a deal. So,
okay. We also got Roy Robertson Harris, 2-year, $9 million deal. Purely rotational role, not a great player by any means, but could step up when needed. Got anything to say about Roy Robertson, or we just want to move on after that one?
No, he's a solid run stuffer. I think he's a good defensive player. Good signing for him.
Okay. We also got Chris Board at linebacker, 2-year, $5.7 mil contract. Great special team signing here. Can contribute on defense when given the opportunity. See.
Yeah, not anything too crazy. Think he's got some upside though.
Yeah, Jeremiah Ledbetter. We're also looking at a $1 million deal. Depth signing, best season of his career was with the Jags last year, only getting two sacks in 15 games.
Yeah, it's fine depth.
Fine,
yeah, it doesn't do anything much in moving the needle towards their team. So
not really hurting them either. But also we're looking at Smith Morset at wide receiver, 1 year, $1.3 million deal. That piece behind Neighbors and Slayton, low risk, low reward type of player, in my opinion. Probably won't see the field as.
Yeah, he's mainly a kick returner, so I'm not really worried about that. I think it's solid value for a kick returner who's pretty damn solid.
Okay. Key departures. Tim Boyle, man, I haven't heard about that man in a long time. Last time I really heard about him was Green Bay. He's a stinker.
He's so bad, dude.
Kurt Benkert, Tommy DeVito, or Tim Boyle? What you got?
Tim Boyle is the worst quarterback I've ever seen play.
What's Tim Boyle?
I bet against him one game. I bet against Tim Boyle passing yards, and it was like under 170 and a half, right? So pretty low line as it is.
Yeah.
Motherfucker goes out and throws 92 yards. Under 50% completion, 2 picks.
Is that back when he was a Packer?
He was with the Jets.
Oh man, Jets are always they always have been and they always will be a dumpster fire. Also Drew Lock's left, Chris Hubbard's left, Aaron Stinney's left, Aziz went to the Eagles, their edge rusher. Isaiah, I'm not butchering that last name. You can go ahead and say it if you want to.
Ojulari.
There you go. Linebacker Isaiah Simmons also left. He remains unsigned. Adoree Jackson went to the Eagles, and Jason Pinnock went to the 49ers.
Yeah. No one too crazy to lose. I mean, I wish they would have kept Adoree Jackson, in all honesty, on the back end as a number 2 or a number 3. Maybe Deontay Banks, as a 2 is a lot better this year. We'll see about that, but yeah, no one too crazy to lose. Again, follow suit with the B+.
All right, Angel, thanks for sharing the live on TikTok. Really appreciate you. Thanks for everybody stopping in. All right, let's hit the Eagles, the world champs. Woohoo! All right, they have 23.35 mil in cap space. Good for 17th best. 17th most, I should say, not best. Team needs are depth, safety, and cornerback as well. With Darius Slay and Bradbury departing, so we got they signed Aziz, so we'll go with Aziz. All right, they signed Aziz to a 1-year, $4 million contract. Average player, able to turn pressure into sacks when healthy. That's the key if he can stay healthy. Harrison Bryant, 1 year, $2 million deal. All right, blocking tight end. That's about it. That's all what I observed, at least. I mean, what you thinking about? Some depth or some no-name guys, or what you thinking?
Yeah, they want to move off of Dallas Goedert.
I've seen that.
They signed Kyle Granson as well. Again, known for his blocking ability, like Harrison Bryant. Yeah. So really just trying to round out that group. And then Grant Calcaterra, I think, could be a solid tight end 1, actually. So don't mind it by the Eagles. They're just trying to funnel out future people who they have to pay.
Howie Roseman's cooking up over there. I'm not even an Eagles fan. I could say he's actually doing something right over there.
Yeah.
Um, I looked at their cap, and I think obviously Jalen Hurts is their top paid. But I think his dead cap hit was 136 million.
Yeah, with a mega deal like that and so
Yeah.
early into the contract, because it was, I believe it was altered to be this is the first year of the big money hitting. A lot of QB deals, they wait a year and then the money hits. So I think he gets the heavy end probably in about 2 years from now.
We also got Charlie Hewitt, long snapper replacing Rick Lovato. Commanders actually had Rick Lovato for a few seasons, I believe. Then we went to Cameron Cheeseman, but Cameron Cheeseman's cheeks,
It's cheese, man.
cheesy cheeks. All right. Anyways, Patrick Johnson, special teams depth player, previously with the Eagles after spending a season with the Giants. Just more depth pieces for him. I guess is one of the things that they needed too. I don't like that they really didn't address their depth safety, their depth safety need, but whatever. I mean, they also got a Dory Jackson from the Giants. Older replacement for Darius Slay, sure tackler. Well, I don't know. He is older, isn't he? If I'm not mistaken. Or is
He's
it
not
close?
older than Slay, but
No, it's close, right? It's one of the
yeah.
yeah.
I think he's 29, 30.
And then we got AJ Dillon. I think I'm mad replacing for Kenny Gainwell. Inconsistent performances really plaguing the dude, but Avery Williams.
It's a good change of pace though from Saquon. I think Kenny Gainwell and Saquon, they played super similar, and AJ Dillon's going to bring a different type of running style. But I agree with you; it's nothing flashy.
We got also Avery Williams, a kick returner on a 1-year deal. A backup kick returner, in my opinion. No years or money available to grade this signing. I really can't say too much about it other than okay.
Yeah.
I think DeJean and Will Shipley are back there returning kicks. So
yeah.
Eagles gave him a B. Signed a lot of depth players and special teams players. Didn't make much mistakes, but overpaying Barkley this early probably has to be maybe the one downfall. It doesn't give them an A, and the fact that they didn't address their depth at safety, their need at safety. So, what are you thinking?
I wish they did a little bit more as far as their defense goes. You're not going to be able to pay everyone, right? And I totally understand that. But I mean, these are big defensive departures, and we're going to take a look at the rest in just a moment here. But Brandon Graham retiring, Josh Sweat, those are two huge guys off the edge. And then in your interior, Milton Williams having an awesome year. Again, you have a Jordan Davis, you have a Jalen Carter in the interior, but that does hurt still. Oren Burks, linebacker, I think that's a big loss. Again, you have Nakobe Dean, you have Zach Bond, but how much does this hurt? And again, James Bradbury, Avonte Maddox, you got Isaiah Rodgers and Darius Slay at corner, all gone. And then you don't address the safety depth like you just mentioned.
Yeah, because Gardner was traded to the Texans, so I mean, McCollum's starting in his place now, technically, right?
Yeah, and I don't view their secondary nearly as strong as last year's, and that matters a lot in a Vic Fangio scheme.
They went from 30th to first ranked in pass defense over a year. That's a really big turnaround from the year prior. So, departures, Ian Book. We don't really care about Mr. Book. You can go read a book for all I give a damn. Maybe AJ Brown will give him some pointers on what to read. Kenny Pickett was traded to the Browns. Obviously, if you're not living under a rock, you'd know that. I mean, but get your news from us. We love that. Kenny Gainwell went to the Steelers. Paris Campbell went to the Cowboys. Finally, Cowboys got somebody, I guess, but literally nobody to really make up for that loss of Brandon Cooks and all. CJ Uzama, haven't heard of him since he was a Bengal. Jack Driscoll, not really much to say on him, but Mekhi Becton going to the Chargers. Like you said, he's a good player for him, and the Chargers got a really good piece, right? Or he was kind of a flame out with the Jets, but then the Eagles kind of turned and made him great, and then you guys are really harping on his upside going forward, right?
Yeah, because he switched from tackle to guard, and I think a lot of times when you switch from tackle to guard, again, you either get really good or you just show that you stink as a football player. And I think Mackay, he's a bigger dude, and sometimes being at that tackle position, forcing him into uncomfortable one-on-ones that he wasn't accustomed to, hurt him. And transitioning into right guard was a perfect view and perfect vision that Jeff Stoutland, offensive line coach for the Eagles, had, and he really turned him around.
Yeah, they kind of reminds me of like a Brandon Scherf when he couldn't really play right tackle like he was drafted to, and they moved him in, and he started having Pro Bowl season after Pro Bowl season, and I don't know if he signed yet. I don't think so, but he was very reliable for us, barring some injuries, and I think for the Jags as well.
Yeah. Sometimes it's scheme, it's not skill. So
also got offensive guard Nick Gates. He was a Commander for a little while. Kind of he stunk in my opinion. When he was at least when he was with us. Fred Johnson went to the Jaguars. Brandon Graham obviously retired, like you said. Josh Sweat went to the Cardinals, and I believe you said that. Milton Williams to the Patriots. I believe we talked about that already. Oren Burks to the Bengals. I know you said that one. James Bradbury is still unsigned. Devontae Maddox is with the Lions. Isaiah Rodgers is with the Vikings. Darius Slay's with the Steelers. CJ Gardner-Johnson, like I said before, is with the Texans. Brandon, thanks for liking the live on TikTok. Good to see you, brother.
Okay.
And then Rick Lovato remains unsigned. Don't know why they released him. Really don't know why. He was steadfast for 8 years. Fine. Did pretty good with, the punter, the special teams unit and all that as a whole. Don't understand why they would get rid of him, but hey, I'm not a GM. It's not my business.
Agent. No more Lovato. No more Demi.
All right. We got the last but not least. Brandon came in best for last, I guess. Of course, Brandon shows up here too.
Take it away.
All right, we got the Commanders. In my opinion, they need safety after Jeremy Chin departure. They need an edge rusher badly. They have since last year. I mean, Dante Fowler didn't cure it, but he made it a little bit better. We also need a running back. I believe they move off of Robinson. Just lack of speed and burst. I mean, he can get through it, but it just seems like he's always getting caught. He's never breaking away like you see like with a Saquon Barkley. I know you can't compare the two. One's generational talent and one's just, barely a starter on most people's teams, but you gotta look at it like, I want somebody who can break away. Give me somebody now. I don't want Brian Robinson. And he had fumbling issues in that, I think in that week 16 matchup against Philadelphia. So
I believe it was it 2 or just 1? I think it's just one crucial.
It was 2.
Oh, yeah. I think he was catching a screen or something and he fumbled it out of his fucking paw. I don't know. You watch more Manders football than me.
Yeah, Brandon, thanks for the 20 roses. Appreciate that over here. Number 1.
It's a garden. It's a garden.
Jaden, thanks for liking the live. Appreciate you all. All right, so let's get into some of these Commanders. Signings. Javon Kinlaw, 3 years, $45 million contract. Love this signing. Decent replacement for Jonathan Allen. Decent run stuffer. Wolf Tato with the emojis. I can't read those Windows emojis. I'm just going to assume it's something to deal with them being angry. Yeah. Also, Marcus Mariota on a 1-year, $8 million deal. Love the fact that they brought him back. Consistency is key, especially when him and JD5 have a similar play style. You saw when he came in versus the Cowboys when Jaden Daniels got taken out at halftime. He played well and won us the game. And also against the Panthers, too, when, came up and they hung 40 on him. So, sorry, Brandon. Sorry to say about your Panthers, but, that was where Marcus Mariota decided to shine. Everybody was pissed when they brought him in.
Yeah.
They're all like, "Oh, he's slow. He's getting sacked. He's not throwing the ball. He's not what he was drafted to be. Blah blah blah. He sucks." He came in and lit him up. He shut all the naysayers up that day. But at the same time, a lot of people are now saying that he's just a system quarterback with Cliff Kingsbury. So it is what it is, man.
Shout out to Panthers, though. Panthers gonna have a good year.
Yeah, all right. We'll see.
Okay. I'm not a hater.
I'm not a hater either. Look. That's literally the team me and Brandon play an Ultimate Team. We're playing with his Panthers. I don't mind it. I seen Jaden Daniels in a Panthers uniform, and I kind of didn't like it. Because I have JD. I got JD 92 overall on my starting lineup. So, anyways, he said,
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna break y'all down.
We can do next week.
Yeah, next week. We'll break y'all down next week with that NFC South. We'll see what's going on. So. All right, let's go ahead and talk into some more of these other players. Will Harris, 2-year, $6 million deal. Versatile but not flashy. Solid player. Expected to start at strong safety in replacement of Jeremy Chin. I have a couple of things to say about Jonathan Jones. He's going to be outside starter as of right now. Sanger still is going to go back inside.
I like that a lot more.
So, yeah, I looked that up and was really getting into it. So, 1 year, $5 million contract. Not really much of a risk there. It's better than having Michael Davis and BSJ on the team. But we'll go with Dietrich Wise as well. 1 year, $5 million deal. Hoping to be a valuable rotational piece. The Commanders are hoping that he can return to 2022 form when he posted 7.5 sacks with the Patriots. So.
Yeah, he's been solid since. Nothing too crazy, but definitely has potential. Like, intangibles are there. Just needs to find production.
We also got Noah Brown. The Hail Mary King is back. 1 year, $4.5 million deal in what's now a more crowded room in Washington's wide receiver cores. A good depth re-signing. Usually always drew that necessary pass interference flag when we needed it.
Yeah, really timely, good wide receiver 3, I believe.
For sure. Also got Jake Martin on a 1 year, $3 million deal. Considered to be a depth signing, good move, for the team. They needed edge help badly, but at the same time, I don't feel like that's gonna move a ticker like you were saying before with other teams. He's not gonna be that ticker mover. Got Michael Dieter bad. I wanted them to get rid of him. I mean, I don't know why I hated on him so much. I really don't. I mean, when he came in, he did fine. He was a backup center. Hopefully he doesn't have to come in again, but he's, valued depth at the position. 1 year, $1.3 million deal, having him back. So obviously
on the Michael Dieter bag. He's just getting a bag here and calling it a day. He ain't gonna play no football in practice.
He's gonna hold a clipboard for $1 million.
Yep.
Eddie Goldman, also at defensive tackle, $1.2 million deal. Cheap depth piece. Nothing more to say about this signing, honestly. That room's pretty stacked as we go. With Jazon Newton and Deron Payne starting, obviously. Then you got, Kinlaw. I think Kinlaw is going to come and start over Jazon Newton, but Jazon Newton's going to be that rotational piece that I believe can come in and disrupt. I love Johnny Newton, man.
He bursts like he's running out of cannon. Like he just gets to the quarterback.
Love Johnny Newton, man. Love it. Anyways, we got Eddie Goldman. I think I just talked about him. KJ Osborne, Let's reverse the tape a little bit. All right. 1.195 mil. Overshadowed last year with KJ Osborne. Didn't really see why we needed to re-sign him, but hey, I'm not a GM, and I honestly don't hate the move. It's low risk. If he comes in and play good, if he doesn't, then good. $1 million, really, it's really safe to say to us average folks, $1 million is the world, but these teams, they don't give a damn. $1 million is pocket change. Pocket sand.
They're pennies.
Pennies on the dollar, man. All right, so we have Kevon Seymour. Depth piece, special teams contributor, in my opinion, 1.17 mil. I believe he's backup, maybe backup fourth, maybe, I believe. He's really down there.
No, as far as corners go, he's probably cornerback 5, 6. Because you got to think Lattimore,
Sanders still,
Jonathan Jones, Sanders still, Benogany.
Yeah, definitely 5 or 6. Yeah, you're right. And we also got Trent Scott coming back on a 1-year deal. I didn't mind him when he was in. He held his own. He caught that one touchdown against the Bengals. Nobody thought he was going to get that. 85. I think that was his first touchdown pass to Trent Scott. Yeah. And there you go. Backup swing tackle that can hold his own when needed. Solid signing. Don't have the figures on the deal yet, so we're still waiting. Jalen Holmes, same thing. He's on a 0-year deal, $0 according to Spotrac.
He played for free.
Yeah, played for free. When rotated in, Holmes got some solid pressures. Nothing flashy, nothing bad, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Sheldon Day.
So nice. They give players for free.
Hell yeah. Also got another one. Sheldon Day getting no money. 1 year. more of a rotational piece in that stacked DT room, like we said before with Eddie Goldman. We're also looking at Nick Ballore, special teams East, 13-year vet, looks to mainly be in that role.
Yeah,
shaking your head no, but saying yeah.
there.
What are you?
Nothing crazy there.
Nothing crazy. And the one or two moves that I really did not care for, Jeremy McNichols. Kind of stumped on this one. Nothing flashy in between the tackles, but get him in space. He could do something. He's never. I think I remember against the Cardinals he ran a couple in, but I don't really remember him much outside of that.
He was a solid back.
I
don't think he's bad. I just, again, you guys have Eckler for another year under contract.
We also have a younger Chris Rodriguez as well. So I don't understand why. I just don't understand what they're trying to do here. Maybe they're just trying to roll with Robinson, Eckler, Rodriguez, and McNichols again, and then call it. Give Robinson another year. We'll see. I mean, it's a lot of 1-year deals we got going on in Washington. I think only 1 3-year deal going on.
And 1 2-year, and that's
1 2-year, yeah, with Will Harris. But we also got Cleveland Farrell is coming back. Didn't really like this move. He's not the greatest in run support and loses edge frequently, in my opinion. Don't see why he's back. I mean, he got a couple of sacks, I believe. Foster Sorrell, tackle, $0, 0 years. Free money for these two players as well. For sure, depth piece, a lot to prove. He's basically blessed with the chance to sign with the Commanders. That's what he said. He's a lot to prove. He didn't live up to his potential when he was drafted, I believe. We also got Nate Herbig, 1 year, $0 deal. Solid potential starter depending on what position he plays. Obviously, they're gonna be working these $0 deals out, so don't take that to heart. He's not actually getting paid nothing, but potential starter depending on what position he plays could be coming for you, Nick Allegretti.
Yeah, because I think that they might try to look to swing Brandon Coleman because he was playing a lot of left tackle for you guys at the end there, right?
Brandon Coleman, right? Yeah, I think they should push him into guard, especially with that signing of Tunzel. So I feel like the ideal lineup would be Tunzel, Coleman, obviously Biotish, and then Sam Cosmi. And honestly, Andrew Wiley, I think Andrew Wiley can get the hell out. But
for sure. I just think Coleman. I think Coleman might move to right tackle.
You think? Okay. So what do they do with Wiley? Just tell him to hit the bricks,
kick rocks, or go to left guard. At that point, because Cosmi's right guard, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I like Allegretti over Wiley though. I don't know who I'd like more there, but at the same time, that's out of position for Wiley.
Or Nate Herbig. That's what I'm saying. You have that choice if you move Coleman over. But I don't know. Coleman could slide in as a guard. He is a bigger build, and I could see that as well.
Okay, so then a second line would be Coleman. Not Coleman. It'd be Tunzel. Would be Herbig, Biotish, Cosmi, and then. Coleman.
Enter one of Coleman. Yeah, enter Coleman. Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
Like what they're cooking up over there. Let's see what they can do. Maybe they. I think that's one place that they don't hit in the draft, or maybe they try to find something they can develop to replace Wiley, or even success Tunzel at some point, depending on how long he stays. But Michael Gallup, wide receiver, good depth player, coming back after spending last year on the couch. That's pretty much it. Other than for our signings at the moment, we have some departures. Jeff Driscoll, that dude can run. That's all I can know. He can run. That's it.
He's so bad.
Oh, we got De'Ami Brown going to the Jags. Jamison Crowder remains unsigned. I hope we bring him back. I like Jake Crowder. Really enjoy him.
I don't think you will at this point. I think you've signed enough wide receivers, and you also have Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah, I think Luke takes over returning duties as well. So I think Crowder's kind of the odd man out. They don't bring him back. They said KG Osborne's a departure, but we have him back. Signed him. So
yeah,
he's back. He's not a departure. Alameda Zacchaeus went to the Bears. Good for him. Glad he's getting another deal. Cornelius Lucas went to the Browns. Dante Fowler went to the Cowboys. We talked about that one already. Jonathan Allen got his bag from the Vikings. Michael Davis is unsigned. Maybe he reunites with the Chargers. I don't know.
No, don't. No.
Or goes to the Panthers. I feel like Dave Tepper pulls the trigger on Michael Davis, thinking he's a first round Oh God, what's his Madden rating? We got Brandon. What's Michael Davis's Madden rating? You pull that up? Do you know what that is?
Yes, 72.
Let me see it.
It's got to be worse than that, bro. Can they get worse than that? Like a 68.
65. Let me see. All right, that's the first search thing right here. Michael Davis is a 72. A 72.
I was on the money with my first guess,
There
and then
you
I
go.
changed it.
Now you're good. Don't worry about it. BSJ went to the Chargers. Benjamin St. Juice, for those who don't know who don't know initials. Jeremy Chin went to the Raiders, and Austin Cyber remains unsigned. B minus in my opinion, even though that's my team. I love the Commanders, but B minus, need to better address edge and safety spots in my opinion. Wish they would have picked up a better running back outside of Brian Robinson. Other than that, they did pretty solid. They focused on the defensive line more than anything, so no one can run on them. Obviously, yeah. Jeremy Chin went to the Raiders. Brandon, he loves Jeremy Chin.
Yeah, Jeremy Chin was nice with the Panthers.
And he said that Michael Davis is 75 on Ultimate Team. Giving him 3 points for being crap. That's crazy. Yeah, Washington remembered the 55 burger that the Eagles hung on them in the NFC Championship game, and that game still stings, but we weren't even supposed to be there. Anyways, that game still stings. They addressed defensive line like they needed to. They got Kinlaw. They got Tunzel to protect Jaden Daniels' blind side. I love what they did. B minus, though, only for the fact that, they really didn't replace Chin. I mean, Will Harris is no Chin. So.
Yeah, and I think they could have done more in the safety room in general.
Yeah, because Percy Butler, I think, is the other starter, and he's all right.
He's like below average in my opinion. It's just
reminds me of Ron Rivera when I think about him. Yeah. He's GM of his alma mater. I think the
Bears. I did see that. Yeah, Cal.
Yeah,
I saw that as well. I was like, good for him.
Freaking Ron Rivera, he's probably gonna fall asleep. We sit there like all stupid. Full of Joe Biden. All right.
I followed the B minus grade with you. All I'll say is, I wish they address edge a little bit more. Their interior's really good. It's just run stoppers on the edge as well. More important than pass rush, but sometimes setting the edge, especially because, again, if they're going to play to the strength of that good pass defense the Commanders are, and that's projecting to get a little bit worse this year, in my opinion, with the secondary room. I don't know. I think you need people to set that edge.
All right, Brandon, I have a piece of news for you because this is about the Panthers. All right, so I want to hit into some some last-minute news before we end our stream here. Thanks for the 1,544 likes, the gifts. Thanks for all the views. Appreciate y'all. All right, so Melton Williams, the sought-after defensive lineman from the Eagles. He chose the Patriots over the Panthers because the Patriots wanted him the most and actually made him a priority. So I made them a priority, is what he says. The Panthers lost out on Melton Williams because they did not make him a priority.
Basically, didn't pay him as much as the Patriots did, is what I'm hearing.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Because I don't know. I think the Panthers have had a good free agency. I don't want to speak on that too much, but they've added a lot on defense. So.
We'll definitely be talking about that one next week. All right, so I gotta ask a question about the Giants real quick. Just circle back to them. Who do they pick at? What does they pick at 3? Right? Who do they pick in your mind? I hear Cam Ward goes at 1.
He's definitely going at 1.
Yeah.
Like all that nonsense talk about Abdul Carter. Oh, Titans want to pick this.
They do need edge prospect.
Though. Yeah, but they need quarterback, man. You can't roll Will Levis out there again.
Will Levis' cheeks.
I'm picking Cam Ward if I'm them, and I'm not taking anything away from them in that regard. If you really want Abdul Carter, trade down to 3. Trade down to 3 with the Giants. Allow the Giants to come up, get Cam Ward, and then Shadur goes 2nd, and then Carter goes 3rd, and then it's Travis Hunter.
I've been seeing that.
Mbao. It's one of them guys.
Yeah, I've been seeing them trading down to 3 as more or less of a realistic. it's like if they don't go Cam Ward and they're really enticed by the Giants, and the Giants throw everything they possibly can in this desperate attempt for Joe Shane and is possibly his last year's GM, the Giants. If they turn around and take care, if they do that, that's what I heard that they're doing. I heard they're getting down, going back to 3, getting that haul and getting Carter.
I mean, I would love that for them because they could probably snag a 2nd or 3rd rounder additional just from 2 spots. Because that at 1, I know who's going, Cam Ward. But after that, it's a little bit of a cluster because the Browns are interested in Carter and Hunter as well, in addition to Shadur and Cam. The Giants are interested in Travis Hunter, in addition to one of the quarterbacks. And then you got the Patriots, who are looking at offensive tackle, possibly, if they don't get one of their guys. So just a whole lot to unpack there. I'm actually doing my first mock draft today and everything, and gonna start to break down a little more film as far as everyone else goes. So
yeah, maybe we can get ahead on that one, because I want to get into some of that too, so we can actually have some more content going forward as far as that goes. Let me break this news before I forget, because I lost the page. I don't have it no more. NFL Media is being acquired, and they're in talks to be acquired by ESPN for $2 billion. We talked about that one a little bit before stream. I kind of just lost the page. I don't know where the hell that is, but whatever. Grady Jarrett on signing a deal with Chicago. I'm just excited for a new challenge. Let's see what happens over there. Ben Johnson's cooking up some good deals over there for that team. They got Joe Tooney. Add some extra offensive line help. What is Caleb Williams going to do now?
He's gonna go off.
Gonna feast, man. Browns signed Jerome Baker. I think we talked about that one. And Giants also added Zach Pascal on a 1-year deal. Zach Pascal has been around the league a little bit. He was with Washington a little bit. He was with the Colts, I believe, too.
Yeah. His best ball was probably with the Colts.
Yeah, I agree with that. Looking to see more. A lot of people are putting out their mock drafts as well. Obviously, Brandon Cooks went back to the Saints. They drafted him in 2014. We already knew that one. Aaron Rodgers visits the Steelers with no deal imminent, and that was as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Zaire Franklin and Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones quarterback battle. Competition is going to help everybody. I still think AR5 wins.
Yeah, for sure. He's for sure winning that.
Valdez Scantling on helping Seattle replace Metcalf. Lockett says, "You do not try to fill those shoes."
I mean, at least he's being honest. At least he's being honest. I hate the people. I hate the role players that come in and act like they're going to do superstar stuff. Yeah, know your role, play it well. Marvez, I respect you. You're a champion. You're a saint. Literally and figuratively, past saint. Good for you, man.
Hell yeah. 800 likes on the stream. Thank you guys very much. People are sticking around. We're actually just wrapping up with our NFC East edition. Next, if you guys follow, we're doing the NFC South next week. Hit that follow button and smash that like button, please, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Get it.
Up and coming sportscast. We're gonna be doing this every week, off season or not. A lot of other podcasters, they'll turn around and they'll leave when their team is done playing, but we stay here. We keep going. Anyways, we got, we already broke this one. Cal hires former Panthers and Commanders head coach Ron Rivera, to be the general manager of their football program.
Yep.
And then I think that's pretty much it. I mean, let me refresh this and see if we have anything else coming on.
For sure. I'm trying to see if there's anything on my end as well. Let's see. If Bleacher Report has anything crazy. I think that's just about it, really. I mean, everybody is just doing their, mock drafts and all that stuff of what's coming up. Yeah, they've settled into free agency. You have a couple signings that will go down in the next couple days, but Majority are signed, and yeah, I'm just excited to break down the South.
Let's go next week with the South. All right, guys.
Keep pounding.
All right. All right, y'all. So we'll be back next week at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hit that follow button, hit the like button, hit the notifications so you know when we post. We post shorts as well.
Hit 'em all.
We're going to get on that. Go ahead and get on with us. So for now, it's been JDB Sports. We'll be back next Saturday, NFC South, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys all have a good one.
Take care.